Competition, opportunity, and the rate of progress have never been higher than they are today. There's always a new skill to learn, a better impression to make, 1,000 deadlines to meet, and the nagging fear that if you don't work for 80 hours a week now, you're going to feel like a dinosaur by the time you're 40. So what do? We work those 80-hour work weeks, only to let ourselves completely neglect our health, our relationships, and our hobbies. And so by the time we are actually 40, we lose every hope of ever having a life that isn't tied to our desks. So, if that's the case with you, I'll understand if you find it hard to believe that having a work-life balance is not a myth. But I'm here to tell you how to make work-life balance a reality for you. Hey friend, and welcome to the channel. If you're new here, I'm Dan, and in this channel we explore the strategies and tools to become more effective and productive. So, if you're anything like me and you're always trying to find ways to work smarter rather than harder, please consider subscribing to the channel. And now let's continue with this video. Today we'll be answering the big question of how to maintain a good work-life balance. So let's dive in. Now, chances are that you have tried to balance your work and life before, but you probably haven't been able to follow through with it or sustain it for long enough. So if that's the case for you, it might be best to first address the mistakes you've made while doing this, or mistakes that you are likely to make. When trying to bring work-life balance into our lives, we're likely to overestimate how much we are capable of achieving in one single day. If you decide that it's high time you brought some balance back into your life, and made up your mind that the next morning you'd wake up, exercise for an hour, cook a healthy meal, grab a coffee with a friend, eat dinner with your family, call your parents, do an online course, and at the same time managing to get 6 to 8 hours of effective work, chances are you won't succeed. Not only will this discourage you from trying again, you will feel very overwhelmed, and so you're defeating the purpose of trying to maintain a work-life balance. So you have to be careful with the time frame that you choose upon which to judge your balance. You need to be realistic. You can't do it all in one day. You need to extend the time frame upon which you judge the balance in your life. So rather than striving for a perfect schedule or a perfect balance, you should strive for a realistic one. Some days you might focus more on work, while other days you might have more time and energy to pursue your hobbies or spend time with your loved ones. Balance is achieved over time, not each day. And for most of us, we're perfectionists both in our plans for the day and our work. And this attitude is never ideal if you want to maintain a good work-life balance. So let's talk a little bit more about why we need to beat perfectionism. When we're young, it's easier to maintain a perfectionist habit. You can be good at school and also have time for your hobbies. And when you see yourself as an overachiever, you begin to develop perfectionist tendencies. But as you grow up, life gets more complicated. As you climb the ladder at work and your career, and as your family grows, so do your responsibilities. That ideal image of a person that you have for yourself becomes out of reach. And if your perfectionism is left unchecked, it can become a destructive habit. So the key really to avoid burning out is to let go of the idea that you can do everything flawlessly. Instead, you should strive for excellence, not perfection. Our brains are not designed or evolved to be maximally efficient at any one thing. Our brains are designed to be generalists, and this comes with the ability to be moderately good at a range of activities. Now, the price we pay for being generalists is that we'll be less good at any one of the many activities we perform than someone who did only one thing their whole life. So to really be able to live a balanced life, we need to let go of this perfectionism. Once you make peace with the fact that you aren't going to immediately be perfect at everything you take on, the next logical step is to make small changes that allow you to live a more balanced life. We all have experienced the crash diets that fizzle out or the New Year resolutions that we forget by the start of February. It's the same with work-life balance when we take on too much too quickly. By trying to commit to drastic changes, you are only setting yourself up for failure. So instead of cutting your work hours from 80 or 60 to 40 a week, or bumping up your daily run from 0 miles a day to 5 miles a day, start small and work your way up. Even though making these drastic changes may make you feel like you're turning your life around within a span of days, chances are you won't be able to sustain this. So if you're someone who's always absent from family dinners and want to turn that around, instead of vowing to begin attending the meals nightly, start smaller. Maybe begin with one evening a week, and eventually you should be able to work your way up. So once you start making the small changes, eventually you can build up from there and start living a much more balanced life. But you also need to make sure that you are following through with these changes. When it comes to balancing work with the other aspects of life, we easily get carried away just working and neglecting the other aspects. A great way to actually follow through with activities besides work is to create systems for yourself by which you are held accountable. And that's what we're going to talk about next. Now, when it comes to our work, we are usually accountable to someone or something besides ourselves. And this could be in the form of a deadline, a commitment to your boss or a colleague, a strict schedule, or some deadlines and goals that you have set for yourself. With these external pressures driving you to continuously move forward with your work, it is easy to let the other aspects of your life fall on the back burner. And this will be especially the case if you don't have any obligations to engage effectively with the other areas of your life. So, when you want to do something in a balanced way, it's a good idea to get into the habit of setting up an obligation that encourages that balance. Now, you need to identify what works for you when it comes to setting obligations. For example, for some people, maybe a simple habit tracker is enough to make sure that they work out every day. But if that doesn't work for you, you might want to consider going to a coach or having a workout companion who you hold accountable and to whom you are held accountable. So when you have this sort of accountability with other person or a schedule you have set for yourself, you are more likely to make time for other areas of your life. Now, among the obligations that you create for yourself, some obligations that you should definitely include are having a good morning routine, a wind down routine, and taking effective breaks during your work hours. And Sarah Cameron explains the need for these breaks beautifully in her TED Talk. According to her, if as individuals, each of us is a puzzle, then our daily experiences are the pieces. And without these breaks and breathers in our schedule, we have all the pieces but no time to put them together. When you have realistic expectations and goals from your work and life and plan your day in a balanced way, you'll see every aspect of your life turn around for the better. By making more time for them, your relationships and health will improve, and you'll also get time to pick up your hobbies again. And what's more, by engaging effectively with activities besides work, you'll be giving your mind some relief from constantly thinking and worrying only about work. And when you do go back to work, you get back to work feeling energized. This will make room for new ideas that might not come from a constant heads down style of working, and overall you'll be a more wholesome person. If you like this video, you'll also enjoy my next one on how to take effective breaks. So go watch it right now, and I'll see you on the next video. Bye bye.